Don't be an entrepreneur. Look for a job. There's no work-life balance. There's work.
We are becoming more of grantpreneurs more than entrepreneurs.
That can't work when you have a very big team. When you have a very big team that you cannot even be able to manage, right?
That doesn't work until you win. Because you need more money, you need to decrease the time, at least.
Everybody you see in the world is selfish.
I want money. So if you want money, go and look for a job.
I don't agree. The kind of money I want, job cannot give it to me. Just so that we know who we're talking to, we're just going to do like a quick introduction. So I don't want to say you introduce yourself by your startup or your company name, just in case it's hard and I cannot pronounce it. So you just give us one name or like the easiest name we can refer you as. And so I'll go first. Hi, my name is Ladi, and I'm working on Ladex. Ladex is a peer-to-peer delivery service. So we help people send and receive items by connecting senders to travelers. Let's go this way. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is David, and I'm the co-founder of Pebla. And Pebla is an offline-first, AI-powered fintech super app, right? And so we allow you to have all your mobile money accounts and bank accounts on one app without needing to have any internet connection. And we allow you to be able to track your bills, and all your expenses, make payments, etc. for free.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Goodluck. I'm a founder and the CEO of IO Health, and I'm also a software engineer. I'm actually the one building our product. So basically, we actually notice a problem. There are more of paper works that are being used to store records, and these things is not really trackable, and also we also notice that even those records are hardly accessible across clinic, and that is what we are trying to solve. We are basically building a smart card, which is actually an NFC card that helps stores this maternal record and make them accessible across clinic. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Harriet Mudhoni Mboro. I'm a fashion designer. So when you look at the polluters, fashion is the second largest polluter in the world because of fast fashion and all these Shein and Zara and big fast fashion brands coming up. So my co-founder and I came up with a solution to recycling textile waste and creating construction materials from that. So we co-founded a company called Zazu Manufacturing Limited, where we create fiber reinforced concrete materials for the pavements.
Hi everyone, I'm Jean Damascene, and I'm a founder and the CEO of a company called Afrinox Limited, a company that believes that everyone is concerned because we work in the area that everyone needs, agriculture. Believe it or not, you need to eat 3 times or 2 times a day. And at Afrinox Limited, we do nothing but revolutionizing the whole sector, because we use technology to solve agriculture challenges. Right now, we have some products, that farmers are using, like Broodinox. Broodinox is an automated chicks brooding system, which automatically do brooding for the chicks and other livestock, animals that needs to be brooded. And other than that, I am very much excited to be here. Let's keep the conversation going.
Thank you. My name is Holly Stephen, and I'm the CEO and the founder, the CEO of Rival Business, but the founder of TerminoX. Like Rival Business is a group, and the TerminoX is subsidiary. That's what I'm going to say about. So, when you say terminal, means supplying or connecting something. That's where terminal become. Right now, we have the software industry all over the world, especially here in Africa. The people have the good and the good and the good solution. You hear that one for David? Yeah. You hear that one for Good Luck, right? So those are the solution. And as she say, is a developer. David, are you a developer? Well, yes. Okay. And those developers need the people who will go and tell the world the product you're making. Not a reporter, not influencers, but the sales and marketing executive. So TerminoX is the platform to connect those people. We train people for sales and marketing, especially to sell and to market software, a digital solution. And also we connect those companies have those product with those people of selling it. That's what we do.
My name is Eli. As a teenager, I believed that passion is not when you find something you can live for, but as something you can die for. And so, in the world where artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things is making a lot of noise, everybody's talking about that. Yeah. I founded a company that is creating people who can die for something that is bigger than AI. So we founded Winners Mount Academy, where I have children to 3 years old, 12 years old. And we believe each of them has got a gift. And if we can inspire passion in this child to die for the gift that he's carrying, then he can change the world for better. So that's what we're doing.
This is one heck of a group.
So thank you. My name is Plisker, and I'm the co-founder of NIM. And at NIM, we are trying to save limbs, like diabetic foot ulcers. We've noticed that it causes the limb loss or amputations. So we have an ISO that earlier detects those diabetic foot ulcers, and with it, we are doing the early intervention and early detection. And with us, we are hoping to reach to a future where that diabetes will no longer takes away limbs. Yeah, thank you.
First of all, this group is something. We have people feeding us, helping us. We have people clothing us. We have people helping our mothers. We have someone helping us keep money. We have someone helping us stay alive and, making sure that people don't lose their legs to diabetes, which is really interesting. And of course, we have someone who is training the next generation leaders. And then we have the one who is helping all of us go to market. Amazing. All right. So one question I want to pose as we start is culture. So we were outside and a lot of us were already, not happy. Plus we all came early, except for Good Luck. But we all came early. Which is so cool. No, I'm like, okay, all right, cool. All right. So let's talk about culture. So one thing that there was a program we went for. It's called GLP. So GLP is Global Leadership Program. We were opportune to be in Silicon Valley for like a whole month. So in Silicon Valley, you're talking to Microsoft, Apple, Google X, and a bunch of them. And one conversation that just did not leave me even till now, and it was something that really has to do with what we're talking about outside, was culture. So you're talking to these big companies and you're asking them, so what's like the most important thing for you? What's the one thing that makes you what you are? And all of them will leave their technology, and they have amazing technology. These are like companies that serve all of us right here. And they go culture. Every single one of them, they literally just go culture. It's as if they planned it, but they were not together. It's one company, then the next company. But what was even more interesting is that they all have different cultures. So it means that there's no one particular set of culture that we particularly need to succeed. And then I'm now wondering to myself, what does that culture look like for you? What is the culture for you? Is it something that does it have to be part of your personality? Does it have to be because of what you're building? What have you noticed about culture? How are you going around it with your team? Is it even a conversation for you, or you see it as one of those aspire to acquire phrases that just doesn't make sense?
Okay, thank you for bringing that one. Actually, I was once, having this conversation about culture with my siblings, and we just noticed that this is something that actually shape us. Like I could notice that you are a Rwandan, you're Nigerian or someone just because by seeing you, and this is what the culture does to you. Culture actually shape you to who you are. And a person is not a person because he or she was born. Is a person because what has been influencing him or her, and that's the culture. That's what we call the culture. And by looking in the aspect of entrepreneurship, the people you surround yourself with are the ones who are going to shape you and who are going to build your culture. So along my perspective, my cultural perspective, that's how I see it. We do need to take care of who we are, including in our cycle, because they're going to build a culture around us. Yeah, sure.
You're laughing.
Okay. When it comes to culture, okay, let's go ahead and give mic to her. The definition of culture. You know it?
I think it's relative to the topic, because there's company culture, there's the culture of like a people as an ethnic group, so it depends on your context.
Mm-hmm. What I want to say, when they say London culture, we are out of that. And even you're from Nigeria, now you're in Rwanda, you're out of that. Right now, there is where we synchronize ourselves because we choose to be an entrepreneurs. That's who we choose to be. We choose to have a vision. We choose to have goals. We choose to be important person to the world. For me, I hope that this guy said like something you can die for. This culture, by the way. For me, I want something I can live for. Like, even if I want to live, like I'm looking, how can I live in this world in 200 years? Like at least I become a vampire. I can buy that. I can buy that. Be the originals. Yeah. So that's for me. I'm looking for. So the culture, the vision I have, like I don't want to live. Come on, man, please. For me, I think the vision I wanted from the beginning, when I found the company, I was helpless that time. I was helpless, and I see like many youth in Africa, even the report how it shows us, they are suffering for being unemployed. I know how it feels to be unemployed. So, in the way of starting a company, it's not only to make the money and feed myself. The people around me, can I make them employed? At least if I'm giving someone, if I'm creating this platform, I'm creating is supporting my vision right now. Like, I'm making money, but some people are getting the job, other people are making something. So for me, the culture, to me, I was relating myself with the problem I have and how I'm learning to solve it, the situation. So the culture will evolve the more I have another kind of dream and another word. But the things I have to stick on is that the version, the beginning one, the motivated one, that motivation I had, make me like, it become like a culture to me. For me, if I'm going to define a culture, I was asking definition and then they tell me it is going to be like this. But if I'm defining the culture, I hope that thing make me behave the way I behave. That's what I think. Why I behave like this one. It becomes, and that's how we know you. That's how we know you. Like, I know that, that Paul is active. You are active. Everywhere we meet you, I know that you are active. You are, in your life, you are always active. If I meet with David, screening a people. Look at your eyes. You screening a people. I'm not just an example. But at least the things make me behave like who? Me. That's what I call my culture. You, John Amasen, you have your own culture. I don't know. Please.
Well, I would love to say something in 5 seconds, that it is not culture until it connects more than one people.
When you're starting out, really the culture is a representation of who you are as an individual. The company takes the personality that is you, right, as the founder. And so, yes, I mean, Google and X and all these guys have the luxury of talking about culture, etc., that they have built. And remember, culture evolves over time. But in the beginning, it's really about you, and you know, holding yourself responsible, you leading the charge, being the vision bearer, and having a value system that people can align around, right? And in the beginning, when you're a startup, there's not that much money, right? So really the people that you are attracting are people that genuinely believe and are passionate about what you're doing and where you're going. And so really in the beginning, the culture is you. So you determine the culture, and people gravitate towards you. People that share similar, characteristics gravitate towards you. So with that said, I'd like us to have, a conversation more so about people who are starting their businesses and their journeys, because I think our viewers will be very interested in learning, what it's like on the ground. So the question I have to ask you is, what is one controversial thing that you have come to learn to be true that, you probably didn't get told when you were starting, but now that you have the chance, you'll probably want to tell an entrepreneur starting out?
Thank you so much, everyone. And everyone has a good point. So for me, what I see as culture is your way of life, right? The way you can see Ladi, she's energized. She's a Nigerian, right? So as me and so as every other person. So, and for me, I want to voice it down to how I started my own company. So, I saw a problem, right? Before I started Hayo Health, I had another idea, and it came from the fact that we are Africans. There are a lot of mothers that still relies on remedies like herbs, and this thing, most time, it causes conflict to their health. You get? So, that shows how culture was part of what inspired what I built, what I was trying to build. So what I would just say in a nutshell is that most people, they just come up and just think of something random they want to build. But I feel like we should really look at where we come from, our way of life, and try to find a problem that we face. Someone like me, I'm very, very indebted to anything that would actually solve a problem in Africa. And that is why I came up with the idea. I think that's what I just have to say. Thank you.
Okay, so I need to put context to why I even asked that question. No, yeah, I wanted to get people's opinion first, but let me go into it because I mean today we're here to talk about youth-led startup, the passion, the challenges, and opportunity. This culture for me is a challenge right now. I'm telling you, it's my current challenge. Like it's a big challenge for me right now. I'm coming. So I mean, culture is supposed to be like that thing that builds the company, right? But like you said, we're startups and we don't have money. Yes. Okay. So now it's a dilemma because I want you people to help me solve my own challenge now that we're here. So now I have a culture in mind that we want to work with. But I don't have the money to have my culture working for me right now. So let me give an example. I want a culture where everybody is full-time in my team. But do I have the money to pay everybody that I want to be full-time? The answer is no. Right? So now the culture that is supposed to be an opportunity where we'll grow from is now a challenge for me. What do I do?
I think I spoke earlier about you being the culture in the beginning. It starts with you. So I'll give an example, and I think I was sharing this before we started, that when I started my company, I literally just spoke about it out loud. I will talk to people, randomly. I'll meet them and tell them, "Oh, this is what I'm doing." And to this day, or actually just up until 2 months ago, we hadn't raised any money. And yet I had someone who had just finished their master's willing to drop everything and come and work with me, right? And so it has to start from you. You have to be the person to attract people that are, very much in tune with the problem you're trying to solve. Now, practical steps, right? 1, talk to a lot more people. 2, find people that are aligned with the problem. And 3, align incentives. So obviously equity, give them ownership in the business. And then 3, show them the timeline to market or the timeline to getting the funding. So one thing I was doing was, listen, I'm actively working on, raising funds. This is what is in the pipeline. This is what didn't work. This. I was open, transparency all throughout the process. And because they could see how passionate I was about figuring out the problem we had at that point in time, they were like, no, if somebody's going to crack this problem, it's you. And so I want to work with you, and I want to have some ownership in this business and enjoy the upside. So that's how I would go about it, or that's how I have gone about it. This person I'm talking about works full time, my CTO specifically. So it's tech talent, very expensive talent, best guy ever. That's how I did it.
I think that's so interesting, and this discussion is actually amazing. And if I'm about to talk about the culture specifically as a challenge, I have been into business for almost 4 years, and that was also a challenge, like in the beginning. And one thing that I can say about it is that if everyone has like a vague picture of how his or her team will be looking like in the future, if you start a company, be like, they should be like this in this way. But again, due to the financial, circumstances and all that can't be done in 1 minute. So the first thing you have to notice that you have to be who you want those people to be first. If you want them to be, working full time, it might be surprising if you want them to be full timers, but if you look at you as a founder, you're also not a full-timer, so that will be no motivation for them. But then if you have been a full-timer for some years, somewhat, they'll be like, our founder, our CEO has been there, and yeah, this is the progress we are doing. And because David said it, always when they can't understand what they are going to get out of it, it's very hard to insert that culture into them. Make sure that you clarify, the incentives. If it's about ownership, as he said, equity and all those stuffs, make sure you clarify them and you be who you want them to be. They'd be like, okay, we can also, act as our CEO is doing, and then we can achieve more. And one last more thing about this, when we are starting, like as a startup, sometimes we set rules and regulations. I'm sure maybe some of us are familiar with that, and but that can't work when you have a very big team. When you have a very big team that you cannot even be able to manage, right? So that's why you need to set a company culture. A company culture will be like everyone who is connected with you, then will be going in that way, because that culture connects you. For example, Jean Damascene at Afnox, if you are familiar that I can call you even at 3 a.m. Hi, CTO. That's the culture, But then if I didn't establish it in the early beginning, then everyone will be like, the working time is done and that's all. So you have to establish the company culture in the beginning for even the future, it will help you like to manage the people in the future when you will be having like a very huge team. And other than that, culture is very good and important thing, and I would love to hear from the rest. Yeah.
I'd love to talk about culture, but from an ethnicity kind of side. So I'm from Kenya, and now I am an entrepreneur in Rwanda. So you can imagine we do things differently in Kenya. And that was a challenge at first, because we did not, when we were doing our business model, and trying to plan out things before starting our company, we did not know that we needed to understand the culture first, how people perceive things here. It's very different. Kenya is a more fast-paced country. We call it chop-chop. Where I'm in a very labor-intensive industry, so we need people to move fast, and because the output is dependent on how the input is. So and you're paying people on a daily basis, so you need more output from exactly. So, and that wasn't happening so much here, because it's a more relaxed culture, which was at first very challenging, because now as Kenyans we had expectations, and at first we did not come off as very nice to the people that we were working with, but we took a step back, brought somebody on board, and they tried to explain to us that here it's all about slow but sure. But then we should not but what I'm trying to explain is that it's really important to understand the culture of the place that you're trying to establish, whatever you're trying to establish. Because, for example, we bring solutions that the culture of that place does not necessarily want to uptake. Just the other day, I saw a president who refused a very big contract of the birth control that takes 8 years, and it's all because of the culture of that country. Some countries, I know, they would be very open to administering such kind of practices. So I feel like it's very important to also not only form a culture, but also adjust to the culture within. And then or maybe if the culture of the place that you're in is not very positive, because some of them are not to be taken up to, you should not take everything. You can introduce your culture that is more positive, and that could make solutions work better.
So let me ask, right now, what is it like? Are you getting your chop or you had to mail it?
Well, we met in the middle. So we just sat and we told them our expectations, and then they told us theirs, and then we had to meet in the middle. But then now that is kind of not forcing us, but making us be quicker to automate our processes, because maybe then we can get the speed that we want, which maybe might take some people out of their jobs. So hopefully not.
Yeah, they say before I say this, in 3 minutes to be in a break. So to your side, your question, my dear startup, it become like kids, like this small one, this young one. you have to call people and tell them you have the young one. Like, to let them know the name of your kid. I have worked with the guys like 3 for 3 years. I never consider them as my employee. I work with them as my friend, but to another side, we understand the vision of what we are doing collectively. But for me, I have another job, like 2 jobs. I have to work. I'm not the technician. I'm the strategist. I may work tonight, but tomorrow I have to go to another job. If I get a salary, you know what I do? Family salary. My friend is supporting money, because also them. But in the last 2 weeks, it's 2 weeks, I get a good opportunity. Because when you are working in that way, you don't manage people. Means that the way things move, you have to wait. Someone said, I don't have time. You have to wait. You don't manage people. You don't manage time. It requires more effort to convince someone just this is needed more than like work. You give them, okay, I don't have internet. Okay, you send them the internet, like just like that, because you want something to be done. But if you don't have money to create a culture, my dear, if you are working with the London people, you better get money and then promote a culture. Fund your culture, please.
Taking some pictures and you're gonna be saying before and after.
In Rwanda, Kazakhstan relations.
Don't be an entrepreneur. Look for a job. There's no work-life balance. There's work.
We are becoming more of grantpreneurs more than entrepreneurs.
That can't work when you have a very big team. When you have a very big team that you cannot even be able to manage, right?
That doesn't work until you win. Because you need more money, you need to decrease the time, at least.
Everybody you see in the world is selfish.
I want money. So if you want money, go and look for a job.
I don't agree. The kind of money I want, job cannot give it to me. if you're somebody who believes in work-life balance, don't do a startup. Don't be an entrepreneur. Look for a job. There's no work-life balance. There's work.
So I think my controversial point would be how most startups, we are becoming more of grantpreneurs more than entrepreneurs. And you see an application is open online and you want to shape your company to fit that particular application. So I feel like it's something we should really try and run away from, and not particularly, but be very selective on where we are getting our funding, especially if they don't, our values don't align, and it could not misalign from a not negative point. It's just that it's taking you to a direction where your company is not going. Like, for example, I'm in recycling, and the hot grants nowadays are AI, and then I start to force my company to look like this when it's not like that. So I feel like it causes us not to have sustainable development and growth as companies, because we keep sidetracking. And I don't know if it's a hot take, but there's a lot of grantpreneurs among us, and sometimes we're all tempted to want some free money to develop our ideas, but each and every investor has their rules, and they want you to do a particular thing. Whatever you apply, they want you to follow through. So you find yourself just misaligning with your own goal.
I also want to say that I used to craft this in the way that it sounds well, but my friend killed it. I used to say that I was shocked when I found that everybody wants to win in my business. So, but when I met my friend, he said, everybody you see in the world is selfish. So he killed it, but I just want this to stay like everybody wants to win. So I thought everybody loves me. I thought that everybody wants to buy my product just because I'm good boy. But I found I just want to have a value to communicate to my customer if they really want to buy my product. So I didn't like that. And yes.
Yeah. Okay. So can I go ahead? Okay. Yeah, thank you. So for me, I would say it's the trend. You know, a lot of people want to follow trend. When there was fintech, everybody wants to build fintech. AI came into the picture. Everyone wants to implement AI. And before I refined my startup idea with the team to what it is now, before I just said I want to build something because I saw a problem. But then I realized that is, if you ask anyone that is solving something in the maternal health tech space, they will tell you, I'm trying to build a wearable device, or I'm trying to do this. And everything seems same thing. They are not actually seeing where the gap is, you know, because I feel like they all want to join that trend. So I think one thing we shouldn't do is trying to join trend. Try to find a value and solve for that. Thank you.
Startup or business is the first deceiver I have ever seen. Something going the way you have never expected to be. Sometimes you be desperate. You feel like you don't know what to do. But as a real entrepreneur, not that on a grant water, as a real entrepreneur, you have to sit down and think what is happening. Be aware of the situation. The first thing I heard the people say that, hey, you have to start business. There is one online like Forbes. They write like, many people want to start a business. Many people want to start a business. And then, for me, I have deceived like 4 times. We developed like 4 products. Then when I go to the market, I see like I did the market research. It's okay. You can do the market research. Doesn't mean you not be deceived. No, it's even like in normal life, business. Like you start a business, my dear. It's like you even have a girlfriend. If you be deceived, don't worry. You'll find another one. You find another one. You heal yourself. Means that in business you go find what happens, what's wrong, and then you sit down and say that okay, I can see another problem, I can bring another solution. But being deceived, if you're going to be worried about okay, if I become deceived, so you be sure that even if you are starting, the risk, not only the risk of the money, energy, time, work, families, like she said it, need life-work balance. Even the people who are working, who are in job, life-work balance, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Until when? Because you need more money, you need to decrease the time, at least. If you need to succeed to reach to more people, you need to find the time to reach to that people. The money to fund that. You have to work a lot of work. Then at the end, the problem, you work so hard, that time you consume it. Then finally, the customer reject. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For me, I say like, the people said, if 1 reject, 2 reject, continue the 3, continue until 100. For what? 10 rejection, 80 rejection is enough as average for me. I better stop instead of pushing to nowhere.
Okay.
You just better stop instead of pushing nowhere. You be deceived, and then you keep calling someone. Hey, you please come back to me. For what? You better start, move on, find another idea, find another problem. But to be deceived, I was believing that I'm going to be successful businessman at my 30 age, at my 29. Oh, come on, man. At that time, at my age, at that time, at my age, I was at home. I was at home. Like telling my wife, I'm start thinking another idea I can have in my mind. Please, I need your advice. Tell me, what can I do? Because you find yourself at that age, what you wished is not there. It may be even become trauma, by the way, to some people. I find a way to heal yourself as an entrepreneur. He said, the competitor wish you to be in a trauma. That's what they want. Not to read the competitor, but they call haters. That's what they say, like the haters. Because the competitor is not bad people at all.
Let me say something that I feel like I'm fired up to speak about. Well, it's about starting a company is hard. It's very hard. Why do I say this?
It's not the starting, it's the running the company.
Well, let's say the mix of everything.
Depends.
Yeah, but what I want to say is having a startup, being at our age of your company is not easy.
Yeah.
So someone asked me, have you ever wanted to quit? I said yes. And asking me, why didn't you quit? And I said, because I loved what I was doing, that I shouldn't live without it. So why am I saying this? It's because the only way that is available to keep you doing this hard thing called starting and running a company is when you are doing something you love.
Yeah.
This is the only thing. So I didn't want to end up without saying this. Doing what you love, this is the only thing that wake you up in the morning when you feel like you don't want to wake up.
Maybe let me start from the point of quitting. We're here as the founders, and I just wanted to, have ourselves on the same page when it comes to quitting. quitting doesn't mean to resign because you're the founder. You're resigning from who? But I have read something, and it was like every founder quits every day. Quitting means you have stopped to do what you have been doing for some time. So you quitted for maybe one day. You also quitted for a week maybe, and you came back with, so don't say like I didn't quit at any point, because you quitted maybe for 2 days or 1 day. And coming back to the question of David, for me it's only 3 controversial things, and I wanted to talk about them maybe very quick. One is that I believe that you can't start a company, you can't have a startup unless you have a very big capital, starting capital. Like, that's the hindering factors for most of the youth. If they they think that if they hear that you have a business, they be like, where did that guy get money to start the company? And guess what? I mean, the founder understand what I mean here. So I knew, like, to start a company, you need to have a lot of money, but it is not. If you have an idea and you can maybe gather the team, use the skills and time you have, you can really make a company. And not all the founders you meet, not all the CEOs you meet, it's not like they have a lot of money, even as they are running the company. So that was the controversial thing. I could meet you and you told me that you're a founder, you have a company, and I'd be like, if we go together, if we do any accident, I mean, he's going to save me, but trust me, that's not. And if you're listening to us, if you're watching us and you don't have capital, please start now. Maybe the opportunities will come along the way. And that was the first attack. The second one is about like the status of the CEOs once again, or even the founders. I believe that, okay, I knew it requires a lot of effort, but I was like, this is going to be for a short time, and the rest of my life I will have to enjoy. Maybe let me hustle for months. Let me take care, or even 2 years maximum, and then the rest is gonna be like, I'm the CEO and the founder. But trust me, being an entrepreneur is not difficult. It is so painful, if I can say. It's so painful because today you are good, developing a product, and once you have a product, you're like, now we got a product. But then it starts, you're going to struggle finding the customers. The sales like aren't, hitting. You're not hitting the targets. And once you're hitting the targets, this is going to be the life cycle. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a CEO, if you choose to be a founder, do not expect it to end in time. That's life. If you go and talk to Elon Musk, he's still struggling in one way or another, believe it or not. If you go and talk to those guys like, Jack Ma and all those people, they are still, struggling. So being a founder is not as simple as we can understand. It's something that is not an easy thing, because you will have your company, in a good situation today, but tomorrow you need to keep adjusting the things. So that was my take, and yeah.
A lot of times I feel like quitting. I feel like, oh, I can't do this any longer. But I don't enter. I don't know if you come out. So when you feel like quitting, what keeps me going is you should have something that inspires you. Either money. I need money. I know that this thing will generate me income, and that is why I'm still there. Aside that, I know that it will solve my own problem. Tomorrow I'll get married. Tomorrow I'll get pregnant. It will solve my own problem. So basically, when you feel like quitting, just know that, oh, there's something that inspired me to start it. Let that thing keep pushing you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, thank you. For every point, it hits me hard. the very point you said, it keeps on hit me hard. But what I want to say is that if you're looking for money, don't go for startup. So, because I can tell, like most young people, they see someone, I've won a grant of 50 million or something, and they'll be like, okay, maybe if I come up with a solution, I pitch there and I get that money. So it's not that easy. Just go for a startup. Once you've noticed a problem, you validated the market, and you're really passionate about solving that problem. And as our friend kept on saying, be sure that whatever you're solving is something that you really want to die for. Like, it's not just that I want money. So if you want money, go and look for a job. Because or alone.
Sorry, I don't agree. I don't agree. The kind of money I want, job cannot give it to me. What I want is not money. I want wealth. Job cannot give it to me. I think there are like two types of founders. There's the legacy founder and there's the finance money inspired founder. I don't think anyone particularly is bad. You know, like legacy founders are the ones that they are passionate about legacy. I want to have this legacy. This is what I want to live for. They are Nelson Mandela of startups, which is good. You know, I'm not one of them. But then there's the second part, the income founders. These are the ones who they are trying to create economic value, because that's how you get paid. The more valuable you are to the market, the more, you know, you can be. Now, the reason why I would stick to what I'm doing right now is because I'm passionate about the wealth I want to build. Very passionate about
Let me tell you
money.
something. Did you know that in mathematics, they're what they call common denominator? When you talk to entrepreneurs in the world, let's do research. Let's do it. I know what I'm talking about by facts. When you talk to them, everybody, or maybe not everybody, but most of them will say that entrepreneurs do not work for money. All right. I don't want to drift this into debate, but I was just want to say that.
Okay, you know that's half of the statement. It's entrepreneurs do not work for money. They make money work for them.
Well, yeah, I agree that.
That's the complete phrase.
But
entrepreneurs don't work for money. They make money work for them. I'm coming. And that came from understanding how leverage work. So they say entrepreneurs are people that say, if I have 24 hours and I want to get more done, I will get your 24 hours, your 24 hours, your 24 hours, your 24 hours, everybody here. And so now I don't have 24 hours. It's like saying, does Dangote have 24 hours in a day? Hell no. He has 24 hours times at least 50,000 people in Nigeria who work for him, right? So they don't work for money, they make money work for them. So they give people value so that those people can create more value for them.
Of course. And the other thing that I can add on that is that since entrepreneurship is the art of creativity and innovation, the mind of an entrepreneur will be happy, will be gaining when the creativity and innovation is coming out of it. Okay. So entrepreneurs work for learning, work for fun. If you don't have something that you enjoy or have fun when you're doing it, the money part will miss, because you will work as startups. You can work for 10 years without getting money. Trust me. If what you're creating is not exciting you, then you're not going to be entrepreneur.
Okay. So I'm going to give my guys
tell you one last thing.
Okay.
It was remaining. They say like the entrepreneurs, we don't go to church, we spend a lot of time working. But my dear, let's talk about the players. We talk on a table when you want your product to succeed. Like always, like I spend there is a time I was having a hard time. It was a hard time. I wanted to see my product finished. My heart was very, 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 very open to God. I'm telling you. At that time, I have to go to the heaven. If the God come and take their people, I have to go there. Huh? These guys, the entrepreneurs play. They wish to be blessed. Even those one who want a grant, they go to play. To say like, God, make me be the best one, the first one. You are competing with the 100 people, but you are saying like, my God, please. Even as we say like, oh God, let the customer love our product, please. We always say that. So our workspace become our church. That's what I have seen. For most of them, like those who are Muslims, like I have the guy always work together at a 12 a.m. like bling like those stuff and say like, oh let me do a play. I'm coming. You see, it become like our workspace become like a church. So we become a pastor.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, thank you for that. I think there were a lot of interesting points shared across board. Mine is very simple. I've listened to what everyone has said, and I think they're very interesting. But mine is very simple. On the African continent, your competitors don't exist. It's as simple as that, right? You are probably not going to die, especially at the early stage, from competition. You are going to die because you are not delivering value to your end users. Like I hate one thing I really don't like is once you get to the competitor slide, you're like, oh, what is stopping MTN from doing this? My guy, if you've worked for MTN, you will know what is stopping MTN from doing that. It's a behemoth. It's huge. They are not agile. Like your competition is not the big guy. It's not the big guy. His problems are so different from you, and he's probably planned what he's going to do the entire year at the beginning of the year, right? So he's not going to pivot in the middle of the year just because you shipped a feature. He doesn't care, right? You are too small to be relevant in the beginning. So guys, just focus. One thing, your competitor doesn't exist, at least on the African continent. People are not moving that fast just yet. So please focus on delivering value. Yeah, there is no competitor. The only thing you're competing for is delivering value to your end user, right? And you need to focus on that. The big guys, they have different problems and they are not interested in your lunch. It's too small for them.
I just want to make a clarity on. I didn't say that companies or startup doesn't make money. What I just said, like what motivates you to start your startup doesn't have to be money. Like for you, I always hear you pitching. It was the problem you faced that motivates you to learn your startup. And me, it's also the problem that I faced. So it doesn't have to be money. Like it has to be something that really drive you, like you want to make an impact. Because once you look for money and you go into startup because of money, if you don't find it, and I'm sure that in your in your early stage of development, you won't find money. And if you are looking for money and you won't find it, that's where you quit.
Some people are motivated by poverty.
Honestly, that's what I wanted to say. There are times you'll be broke, you just start thinking of problems to solve.
Like your new business.
Okay, but me, I want to just ask a question about, I think I want to get advice on regulations, entering another or piloting into another country or state, or cities.
You need another 2 hours.
Just one
Two
advice
hours.
you can just drop,
Okay, sorry. So, I completely agree with you. Completely. In fact, as a matter of fact, I think people who are motivated by money, let me put it this way. Like you said, the denominators for most entrepreneurs has to be delayed gratification. With whatever the gratification is for you, one thing that I know all of us here have in common is the ability to say, I will suffer for a while before the success will come. The risky thing about doing it as an entrepreneur is that there's no guarantee. You are the only guarantee, honestly. If it fails, it has failed. Then just to add to what David said, if your competitors can get you out of markets very quickly, then I don't think your business was that valuable in the first place. That's another controversial point I have. If a competitor comes today and you're out of business, you didn't have any unique value proposition to begin with. Okay.
I think people think too hard about it. Like you make the regulator an entity. The regulator is a a combination of different people, right? And if you're from where I'm from, that is West Africa, the simplest answer is if they are people, they have, they are people, right? And so you need to address them as such. And if you are savvy, you need to understand that people, give. I work in fintech, so regulation is a big thing for us. So people give, right, trust to people that they know, right? They assign trust to people that they know. So go with an Oga. It's as simple as that. So go with somebody that has been in the industry, have somebody that they trust be the person to front the conversation. It's really not about is really not about following the rules. They will give you a sandbox environment to run in if they trust the person that you're coming with, right? And I've seen this with my very own eyes. You would think the regulator is not interested in something, but somebody will go and see the regulator and it will get done.
For deliberations, you need to approach, because sometimes we think that things are complicated in mind, but if you reach there at the office, you find that the journey is very, 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 very smooth. Because before I get my patent, I used to think that how can you get a patent? It's very, very, that kind of stressful journey and all that. So I thank everyone, and maybe my takeaway to the last audience, let us do entrepreneurship. Let's do entrepreneurship, but be assured that this is not an easy journey. It's so painful. Be willing to put in whatever you want. A startup is like your kid. So you need to do everything possible to make sure that that kid is surviving and growing. Thank you so much.
So for advice for people watching us, I think I would just say charity begins at home. And I don't mean charity in the sense of charity, in the sense of entrepreneurship. Like, you have to solve the problems that are close to you or in your country, in your city, because those are the problems that affect you the most. The pain, you would most likely know the best solutions to those problems, and they will probably bring the best value and more money, of course. And to her, I think I would, when it comes to regulations, when you're setting up in another country, since I'm Kenyan and I did it here in Rwanda, it took me 3 months of market research. So I think research and development should be prioritized when you're setting up in a different place. Yeah.
Thank you. So my take home and advice to everyone watching us is that don't just, no matter what is inspiring you, even though it's money or the passion or fun, just try to not build something out of, I just want to, let me just build anyhow, a raise fund. Before you build, try to search for the root cause, because from there you would get, you actually find a gap to that problem you're solving. Thank you.
Okay, so just one-liners, everybody, because we are running out of time. Mine is very simple. The people who have done great things are not smarter than you. Yeah. They just have guts. They are audacious. So be audacious. It's as simple as that.
Mine is, a lot of people don't fail because they don't have what it takes, but because they don't do anything. Inaction is what kills a lot of people. So take as much action as you can, as fast as you can.
Okay. Thank you. Mine is that you have to build with your customers at the center and play for your business.
Amen. Well, there is something everybody in the world has in common. Poor, rich, drivers, farmers, parents and children. They all have 24 hours a day. The only difference, or what makes the rich and poor different, is how they use 24 hours. One of the people that inspired me said, stay hungry, stay foolish.
I have my own mic. Oh, thank you.
I was too generous.
Yeah, thank you for your generosity. I hope and I think the advice is going to be based on what we discussed. And you are a fellow becoming entrepreneurs. Before you think about becoming an entrepreneur, think twice. 2 times. 1, think about the startup you're going to start. Secondly, think about the money you think you are going to get. If you get it in that time, are you going to continue or to stop? Evaluate yourself if you are a real entrepreneur or not. So if you find you are not, get out. Don't mess up with our playground.
All right. So thank you all so much for listening. We hope it's been inspiring. Cheers.